Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Another day, another detail. It's great to have you back watching another video. It's great to be back. Having made another video, it's been a little while. I have been loaded with the dreaded cold. I'm starting to go over it, thankfully now. So this week's video is my wife's Fiesta. I had to think, whose car's that? I recognise that car. Getting its winter deep clean and protection. And my god, was it cold doing this video. Hence the reason I thought I'm going to do something a little different, and I am going to do a little voiceover from the comfort of my own home toasty. So as you can see, it's not too bad. It's definitely been worse, but it's time to give it a good deep clean. This is probably a couple of weeks worth. It doesn't get used that much. So first up, as always, it's the wheels, tyres and arches. So it's up to yourself, depending on how bad the wheels are. Whether you hit the chemical first, like well, then rinse it off, and then go in for your clean, or rinse it and then go in with your chemical and your clean. So the wheels on this car, they're looked after, so they're not too bad. Hence, little rinse first, just to get rid of as much as you can, and then hit it with some fallout remover. While that's starting to do its stuff, spray up the wheels, or the tyres and the arches with some all-purpose cleaner. It's not too strong a mix, but it's strong enough. All about a 21. Warm water. It's winter time, people. Warm water in the bucket, warm water in the hose. Get that all frothed up and ready while it's boiling, and then give it a good rinse. And it's important to get, not just rinse the chemical off it, but to get as much of the dirt and grime off the wheel at this stage. The more you can do in your pre-wash, the easier it is to then get rid of what's left when you do the contact part. Same when you're doing the car, and we'll come to that in a little minute. So once it's rinsed off, again I'm just going to spray it up again and go into it with a detailing brush round the spokes and into the lug nuts or wheel nuts. Prime up the brush. I always think it's important to prime up the brush, get some chemical in there, and then start to work it in. And just keep spraying it. It is winter, it is going to last a bit longer and not dry out so much, but at the same point, it's, if you let it dry, it will dry and it will stain. But now on that subject, you know, there is a little pressure here and there to use the right products, the right tools, the right equipment, the right methods, you know, and watch your times. But at the same point, detailing is fun, and it should remain fun, whether you do it for a business or whether you do it as a weekend warrior or a hobby. Always remember, it's fun. It's how we all get started. Sometimes I forget that myself, and it's, oh, I really need to do this and I really need to do that, but it should be fun. So for this, I'm literally, although I've sped up the footage to save you the however long it took to do this wheel in real time, I just took my time with it, made sure I got all the nooks and crannies and all the little areas that you would sometimes maybe glance past if you're trying to be in a hurry. Now for me, an important part, regardless whether it's wheels or bodywork, is rinse in between before putting it back in the bucket. So finish with one brush, rinse it in the bucket. Now I'm doing the barrels with the big blue brush. As you can see, the product's working away and everything's going purple when you start to scrub it and agitate it. Personally, I go around the wheel twice. I just think that it's less opportunity to miss and a better opportunity to get round it and make sure it's all as clean as you can possibly get it. Obviously if you take the wheels off, you're going to get it much cleaner. There we are, look at that. Oh, fluffy, frothy and bright red. And once again, once I've finished, quick adjustment of the camera there, clean the brush. Clean the brush. This won't stop your bucket getting completely manky, but it's just going to reduce it. It's not going to be absolutely honking straight from the word go. And then once that's done, as always, a good rinse. And again, we're not just rinsing off the surface, we're making sure the dirt and the grime and the chemical is all gone. to make sure that what's left behind is a clean surface and no risk of any stain or chemical etching, because that's the last thing you want. Have to excuse me, folks, it's the cold has not quite left me yet, and it's still quite nasally, and it still catches my throat and everything, so apologies if I keep coughing or clearing my throat. And time for the tyres again to brown up, but these weren't too bad. Then when I hit it with some water, you see it just instantly goes fine, and then just rinses off. And again, clean the brush as you go. Now it doesn't matter what order you do it in, whether it's arches, tyres, wheels, tyres, arches. As long as you're giving it the best clean you can possibly give it, and you're getting into every area you can possibly get to. So for me, it's arches last with a big lavy brush, or bog brush, toilet brush, whatever you want to call it. And I like to give it a good scrub, get right into the mud flap there, get right into the lip of the arch, including in and hit the spring, and yet again rinse. For me, it's one of the most important things you can do is rinse off your equipment, brushes, and that's it, every single stage. And this is the results of the bucket. So this is one wheel. Look at all that brown muck. Tasty. Not really, but you get the point. Look at that. Now you can see how dirty that was. If I hadn't rinsed everything off, that would be much worse. And you're going to use that bucket to do your next wheel, then your next wheel, then your next wheel. So just rinse in between it and it will last a lot longer. Right, once the wheels and tyres are done, onto the bodywork. I like to give a good pre-wash first. This is just the same all-purpose cleaner with the same ratios for the wheels. And I'm just going to put this out there now because everybody's going to notice it. Single bucket. Single bucket, you say? What? Are you mad? Have you lost your mind? No, but it's all about the pre-wash. And I'll prove it later on in the video. I'll show you the bucket when I finish washing the car. If your pre-wash is good, and your foam's good, and your brush work for all your nooks and crannies is good, then you can get away with a single bucket. But it's important to wash and rinse the mitt in between each stage. So the all-purpose cleaner is been sitting there on the surface for a minute or two now, and then I have a go around the car with foam. Now I don't have my foam that's shaving foam, so it comes out looking like a foam patty. This is an alkaline based foam, doesn't need to be thick. Maybe have it a little thicker in summer, just so it sits a bit longer, but the temperatures are really cool, so I want this to sit on the car and have the weight of it pull all that dirt down and just help drag it off the surface of the car. Little walk round shot, the foam in action. Again, it doesn't look that thick, but it's sticking to the car, it's working its way down. As you can see, it's loosening all that green stuff. That's everything that lives behind your number plate. So that's just doing its thing, and that is now working a treat. Gave this maybe about 5-10 minutes to dwell and just really soak into that dirt and let it all kind of soften and then start to come off the car. So rinsing it off again, work your way top to bottom to top, whatever works for you. Alright, there's theories for doing either or, there's pros and cons for doing either or. So whatever works for you. See, as long as you're going around the car and rinsing as much of that dirt off as possible, and all that foam off and clean it off as possible, then I don't see a big deal in it. It's not going to keep me up at night. Don't let it bother you either. There's better things to worry about. End of the day, you should be having fun. This should be a therapeutic time to calm your mind and not worry about so many trivial things. So for me, I take plenty of time to get around the car and pre-wash it, foam it, and then rinse it. And again, it's not just rinsing all that foam off. I make sure that I'm getting as much dirt off the car as possible, so when it comes to the contact wash, you're still going to remove dirt, because you're never going to 100% clean a car without physically touching it. But if you can reduce the amount that's left on it, then it's going to make cleaning the car much easier, which is much quicker, and saves it becoming a laborious task. So once the bodywork's done, don't forget your door jams. Make sure you give those a right good rinse, because everything just sits in the seals and the hinges. So you want to make sure, and always point it down. Be careful where you aim it, you don't want to soak the inside of the car. It does take a little bit of practice if you're new to using a power washer for doing your door jams. Have a little practice first with the far away edge of the door, the outside edge that's away from the car and the bottom. Just practice and get used to the pressure, the spray, the angle you need to be at, and then once you get the hang of it, you'll be whizzing right round that without any issues, without really soaking up the car. Have a towel to hand, dry off the kick plates and maybe the edge of the seat or whatever else. So it's possible to do it without getting a little water inside the car. There we go. Just a final wee rinse, just to get rid of everything that's off it's maybe splashed out in the bodywork. Next up is the brushwork. Excuse me yet again. And this is another really important part. And again, just take your time. Be quite methodical in what you do. I like to just take my time, go around the car, get all the nooks and crannies, especially the grille, the lights, the fog lights, mirrors, windows, door jams, rubbers, anything that it requires a little brushwork. Just take your time. The more you can get off the car and out the way before you contact wash it, the better, because then you're not going to pick up so much in your wash mitt, whether it's a noodle mitt or a microfiber mitt. So just take your time. So while I'm scrubbing away there, just thank you to everybody who has supported me over the years of my detailing, and everybody who's subscribed and watches my videos since I started doing these. If you're new to the channel, where have you been? You're missing some quality footage here. But if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget to share it. If you like this video, let me know in the comments, because normally I just do a little detailing diary type video. So this I thought a little more in depth, since it's winter clean and prep, because it's going to be, I'm hoping 6 months for the protection. But all in all, I'm really just wanting it to be easy to clean through the winter, and I'll probably try and clean it every 2 weeks, see how the weather goes. Right, now this is a bit that's going to get everybody's back up, and it's single bucket. But as I say, it's important that your pre-wash is exceptionally good and thorough, and you really must rinse that mitt in between each section. So do half your roof, rinse, your door, rinse, and just keep going, and just work your way methodically around the car. Wash and rinse, wash and rinse. Look at that scrub in action. Absolute glorious. Don't look like a weird stiff henchman with a gammy arm at all. I don't know what's happened to my left hand. It's decided it's frozen solid. It probably was frozen solid actually, because was it the day after? or that. The day after, the temperature decided to plummet. Ah, see, you thought I was going to dunk that in that bucket. Nope, there we go. So we'll give it a good rinse. And then just ring it out there. Good man, see? And then back into the bucket. And continue. Again, I like to do it in little squares. So do one bit, move on to the next bit, move on to the next bit, and you get two sides to your mitt. So, well, assuming that you're using a double-sided mitt, you have two sides. All the way down the cap. You can actually see from this angle that it's actually not too bad, and then I flip the mitt over and do some more of the washwork. So while I'm scrubbing away at that, this is the second time I've made this video because for some reason it just decided not to save it, or it did save it, it just failed to reload it when I went back in to do the, but should it only have been this part, the little voiceover part, but instead I had to redo the whole video, so I've got no idea if it's the same, longer, shorter, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And we move on. Again, there's greater things to worry about. Scrub a dub dub. Scrub a dub dub. Oh, I'll make myself laugh sometimes. So again, just take your time, go around the car. As I've said, this should be enjoyable. If you're not enjoying it, you're either not doing it right, or you're just putting far too much pressure onto yourself. And there's enough pressures in the world without having pressures of, you know, cleaning your car. You should just enjoy it, have fun. There we go. All that greenery is gone with the pre-wash. So here, I haven't even touched it yet with the mitt, although we are now. Just do little sections. Taking time. Again, most of this has been done with the brushwork, so it really is a very gentle wipe over the paintwork. Little bits and pieces. Oh, nearly dropped the mitt there. Nearly dropped the mitt there. And again, a good rinse. Just keep repeating that process the whole way around. Right, now we're on to the back of the car, and again just keep going sections, and as you've noticed I'm still using that one bucket, but I'm rinsing it every single stage. If you haven't watched this all the way through, pause it now, write in the comments if you think A, the bucket is going to be absolutely rotten and full of dirt, or B, that the bucket's actually going to be pretty clean and not much dirt and grime left in the bottom of it. Do that and then come back and finish watching the video. Let's see who's right. I'm obviously not going to comment because, well, I know the answer. A quick inspection of this sponge. Pretty clean, pretty clean. Right, the bucket, let's see who was right. Who said it was absolutely minging, who said it was pretty clean. A for minging, B for clean. Let's have a look. Oh, looks pretty good from here. Here we go. So there is dirt in the bottom of the bucket. At the end of the day, the car was dirty. I did wash it, but look at that. There is hardly anything in there, and that's the whole car with one bucket, one mitt, using the rinsing method. I think I just proved my own point, but hey, there is no right or wrong. Use the 2 bucket method, use the multi mitt method, use the single bucket. See whatever works for you. That's what you do. It's whatever you enjoy doing and whatever works for you. Alright, just enjoy it. Right, drying the car off now with a big fluffy blue towel. Gentle pressure. Again, if you're new to detailing, it's all about the least amount of pressure required to get the job done. If you don't need to be aggressive, then just don't be aggressive. But just think of the paint. It's delicate and soft, and you want to look after it. So again, make sure you get all the little dribbles. Fiestas are one of those cars. They're great, but they like to just keep giving you water. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. So from the window seals, the mirrors, the bottom of the doors, the tailgate, it just keeps going. It's one of those cars, you get round it and you think that's dry. You walk away, you come back and you go, there's runs here, there's runs there, there's a dribble. Where did that come from? Just, it's annoying, so you end up going round it 2 or 3 times to dry it. But see, to be honest, see if it beats watching soaps or doing the dishes. I'll get round it about 9 times then. So we're getting the car nice and dry because we want to put on protection. So the protection I'm going to use should last, it says 6 months, and for an off-the-shelf retail product I've seen about 4 to 5 months, which for an off-the-shelf product I think is actually exceptionally good. There's not many products out there that I think will truly last that long, but for this it does. And don't forget your door jambs. Make sure, again, this is one of those areas people do forget or miss bits. Again, I think it sets the car off. You know, it's like washing your face and not doing your teeth. It's just little bits, or washing your face and not cleaning behind your ears. You know, don't do yourself short. You've gone this far, or putting this much effort in. You want it to be right, so you want to make sure that everything's clean and everything's tidy. And again, when it comes to protection, I like to put some protection into the door jambs, the boot shut. They also did it, so bodywork, glass, door shuts, boot shut, wheels, and then obviously do your dressings and stuff to finish off. So you want to make sure everything's as dry as possible. And again, I keep a couple of different towels. Up here wasn't too bad, so I keep going with this one for the door jambs. Catch a little drip there, and then just finish off. So yeah, I keep a couple of different towels. If the car was really dirty, I would use a separate mitt for the bottom of the car, just to backtrack on that. But again, this wasn't too bad. For drying, I have a couple of towels. I keep a couple handy for the bodywork, and then I keep 1 or 2 handy for the door shuts, just in case it picks up a bit of grip or a bit of grease from the hinges. You don't want to put that near your bodywork, so you want to just have separate towels for separate things, separate brushes for separate things, and just keep them in that realm. So if it's for wheels, it's for wheels, engines for engines, bodywork's bodywork, glass, interior, I think if you stick to that kind of format, you'll be totally fine. It means when you come to clean your towels and your cloths and your mitts, you can put them back where they need to be, and you know what bundles which then means you're not going to cross-contaminate. Keeps your stuff working better for longer, and it just lasts longer without cross-contaminating. You don't want a beautiful soft towel in amongst all your general purple cloths picking up hundreds of gunk and crap from around the car. It'd just be a waste of money and then a waste of time. Before you know it, you've scratched the life out your paint that you've spent so much time protecting and making as clean and shiny as possible. There we go, just finish off the door jambs there. By this point I'm absolutely burst. So the car looks clean, it's glossy, and now it's time to give it a little protection. So this is a spray on, count to 10, wipe off product. It's really good, especially for this time of year. And I reckon, as I say, this is not the first time I've put it on this car or other cars, and I reckon it will last about 4 to 5 months. I haven't witnessed it past the 6 months mark yet. So over the winter, especially with the temperature dropping so fast after applying it, I reckon it'll a good solid 4 months. But as I say, I'm going to keep a wee eye on it, and I'll do a little update maybe kind of once a month, depending on the weather. I should wash it about every 2 weeks. So little cheap applicator, doesn't have to be anything expensive. Put a nice layer on it, and then just flatten that back, make sure it's nice and level. This is really hard to kind of not be in the camera's view and actually do it properly. So it looks a bit half-hearted, but off camera I did go round it and make sure it was all nicely buffed and there wasn't any areas missed. Speaking off camera, I did do a lot of tar and glue to make sure there was no unsightly dark spots. At some point next year I will give it a machine polish, and I'll probably put a true ceramic coating on it. I've got a few things that I like to use, so I'll have a little think about that over the winter. Again, door jambs and door shuts, different protection this time, something that's a little bit harder wearing. Or is it harder wearing? It's not really, to be honest. I'm cheating, I'm using a wheel seal just to kind of get into the door jambs on the kick plates underneath, so get into all the areas, especially in there around the seal. You want to get right underneath. I'm trying to do this while not getting in the way, which is, it's easier said than done. Again, hats off to all these guys that can do it and have it a professional looking video, and then there's me. But there we go. Now the tyres and the wheels. So I like to do the tyres first. So I do the tyres first because it saves all that running and gets rid of, once you've put it on the tyre, you can then wipe it off the wheel before putting on the protection. Right folks, so that's just a little insight into my deep clean of the car for winter. I hope you really enjoyed the video. It was good fun making it. It was good fun doing a little voiceover from the comfort of the house. This will be it till the new year, folks. So I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Look after yourself, have some great fun, and I will see you in the new year. So with that said, I'll leave you with the final sections of this wheel and just the final aftershots. Alright folks, take care, have a great time, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye for now.